Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is the Undefeated Mindset. So, today we'll be exploring the book Tribe of Mentors. What I'm going to just do today is basically just take a bit of an excerpt from the book, read it, and then we'll probably just talk about it ultimately. So, I'm looking precisely at pages 214, and I'll read two of these points over here. It says, when you feel overwhelmed or unfocused, what do you do? There's a question. And he responded by saying, I love taking even 5 minutes for a short meditation. It helps me move beyond the surface and go deeper. And after just a few moments of focusing on my breaths, I feel recentered. Before I read the next thing, let's just talk about this. He says, if he feels overwhelmed, if he feels confused, he goes through a place of meditation. What does meditation really do for you? Meditation helps you focus. Meditation captures all those restless thoughts in your mind and keep your mind narrowed at what really matters. So there are two ways I can think about when you're considering meditation. The first is basically you just focusing on your breath, and that's what the um, person who gave the answer at the book pretty much said. He focuses on his breath and he goes deeper. How do you go deeper? By focusing on your breath. The whole idea is that you want to look beyond the surface and you want to experience something more unique deep within you. You are looking for the true answer, not just everything other that's coming as a distraction. Anxiety tends to bring confusion, and when you are pressed in a situation and you don't know the answer, but fear creeps in, anxiety creeps in, it just brings all manner of confusions into you. And so by focusing on his breath, he's allowing himself travel deep within to look for the answer that is buried deep within his heart. That's the answer you're seeking. Now, another thing you can do in the course of meditation is this. Rather than focusing on your breath, focus on truth. Focus on truth. For instance, you are anxious about something, but you can just tell yourself, rather than what I'm actually anxious about, which I don't currently have, I begin to speak what I have or speak what I want. So it's like saying, I'm looking for a way to raise funding for my business. And I'm just racking my head here in anxiety, not knowing how to do it. But rather than just doing that and letting yourself be anxious and being crippled by your anxiety, doing absolutely nothing, I begin to tell myself, I know where to raise funds. And you breathe in. I know where to raise funds. I tend to use the breathing out to make that statement. I know where to raise funds. I am basically telling my mind, my brain, search for the location, search for the people, search for the idea or the process of how to raise these funds by confessing the statement I believe. By confessing the statement I believe. So these are the two ways you can basically meditate to try and get the outcome that you are looking for. Now let's read on and we'll talk about the next thing over here. So he then goes on to say, he was asked a question. If you could have a gigantic billboard anywhere with anything on it, what would it say and why? And he responds, I'd have it say, burnout is not the price you have to pay for success. And I hope billions truly would see it, since so much of the world is still living under the collective delusion that they have to choose between their own well-being and success. Science tells us the complete opposite. When we prioritize our well-being, our performance goes up across the board. 3/4 of all startups fail, and entrepreneurship is about making decisions. Nothing impairs the quality of your decisions faster than running on empty. Rest. Rest. That's what it's pretty much saying. All this, what is the secret to your success? And someone then tells you that I work 24 hours a day. Really, you don't sleep? You mean to tell me that you don't sleep? Or someone says, I only sleep for 2 hours a day. Really? Or 4 hours a day? Can I tell you the truth? You can't make any proper decisions if you do not rest your body well. And as the person who responded said, what really makes for a good business is that you can make good decisions. You will be faced with situations in the course of that enterprise. It is pretty much impossible for you to go through any business and not encounter difficulties. You face them. But what you are basically leveraging on, or what the employees or the subordinates is leveraging on, is that their leader is very good at making decisions. Have you seen businesses where you employ a leader or a manager and this person doesn't really have the wherewithal or the know-how of that particular business? And yet the business will thrive under this particular person's leadership. Why is that? He makes decisions and he knows how to make intelligent decisions. He knows how to put the right people in place. He knows how to get the right kind of resources. He knows how to learn on the job. He knows if a situation comes up, what exactly do I need to do to resolve this? He's a better decision maker. Jeff Bezos once said, I sleep well 8 hours a day, and I only limit my decision making to 3 decisions per day. As far as his business is concerned, nothing more than 3. If you're going to bring up anything else, you push it to the following day. You must give your body sufficient time to rest if you must make better decisions. And if you cannot make better decisions, you can't run an effective business. It will fail. If you tell yourself, I have an inordinate amount of working habits, working hard is foolish if you're not working smart with it. You can work hard for 11 hours and somebody else will smartly work for 4 hours because he has given himself time to rest. I'll use this analogy to try and explain this to you. Imagine you have an axe and you are hitting it against a tree. And you've done this for 8 hours consistently, yet the tree has not fallen. What is the wiser thing to do? I'll tell you what I do in situations like that. I stop what I am doing. I admit to myself that, Nicholas, you're experiencing a burnout. And I stop what I am doing and I go rest. I might not even return to the task that day. Or it might take several hours before I come back to that particular task. But I always notice when I come back to the task, I can do it quicker, faster, and easier. Why is that? Because when I let myself rest from that situation, that burnout I was already experiencing, I gave my brain the opportunity to relax and then begin to reorder itself. And because it was reordering itself, it could now find the file where the answer or the solution to that problem was. So when you're going through a burnout, your engine, the brain, cannot simply find the resource you are looking for. So let yourself rest. So it can actually go and find the exact cabinet and the exact letter and the exact file where that information is, and then to bring it to you. The same thing goes in video games. Oftentimes when you're playing video games, you can play so much and so long that you forget hours are passing. And then you get to a particular stage where you don't know exactly what to do. You're exhausted, you are burnt out, you don't know what to do. And no matter how much you try it, you keep failing at it. Leave it, let it rest. When you go and you come back, you find that you probably will pass that particular stage in about 2 to 15 minutes with ease. Because now you've given your brain the task of relaxing and finding the solution you are seeking. So burnout is not the way to success. Overstretching yourself, not caring about your own well-being is not the way to success. No matter how much you are moving so fast, diminishing returns will set in. You will realize that you are spending longer hours, but you are doing lesser work. You are spending longer hours, but you're doing lesser work. Give yourself time to appropriately rest so that with little time, you can do the most. This is why most people will tell you that the early hours when you wake is the best time to do active work, uninterrupted work, because your body is so well rested that you can focus in fulfilling whatever task that you are trying to resolve. You can focus in getting the solutions that you're looking for. Well, this brings us to an end of our snippet teaching on tribes of mentors. We'll come back to this in future videos. Bye-bye, everyone.